Hey guys, and welcome to another exciting Starcraft 2 broadcast. Today we are going to watch EGIdrA do one hell of a sexy three-way split as the red Zerg in the top right position facing off against the blue Protoss minigun of Team Complexity. So, we have a cross-spawn position PvZ today here on Shakura's Plateau, which I will bet most of you already know this map, so we'll skip the details. On to actually a quick bit of information regarding those of you who may or may not know about my second channel. I do a lot of general gaming, let's plays, stuff like that. And we just finished our first playthrough of Mass Effect 2, going the Paragon route, and, well, did anybody die in the final mission? You should definitely go and check it out. It's about 26 episodes, it's about 40 minutes long on average for each one, and they're all in playlist format. So you can find a link in the video description to my second channel. If you subscribe to that, you'll catch wind of all the new games. I think we're going to be doing a playthrough of Dead Island coming up here in the next few hours or so after this is uploaded, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Back to the game here. Minigun already got the scout heading over here. He's dropped the pylon at the natural, so it's very likely we're going to be seeing a Forge Fast expand. EGIdrA isn't scouting with a drone just yet. He's got his Overlord heading over here, and he's pretty much just going to rely on this for scouting. He knows if his opponent's not here, well, one space that he could be is going to be right there. And of course, we could see that Forge going down at the top of the ramp. Spawning pool going down first, actually. I think this is a very good move. I mean, he could have gone for a 15 hatch, but the problem is he knows that there's going to be a probe likely harassing, so having this spawning pool means you're going to be able to get those Zerglings out early to take out that probe. We do, of course, have those two drones coming down here. Minigun realizes, okay, it's time to party. He's going to do that little circular dance, try to keep that expansion denied as long as possible. One time it's actually been delayed there, I think 2 times, 3 times so far. So pretty darn good laying down that pylon because he realizes, okay, the probe is pretty low on health. EGIdrA is going to keep this up and is eventually going to kill me, so going to have to drop something a little bit more durable. Oh, but no, got to keep that second drone there busy for at least another second or two as he continues to run around. Meanwhile, Minigun going for his own expansion. This is actually going to work out really nice for him because of the fact that he got his expansion done so much earlier than his opponent, who right now has a couple Zerglings. Okay, that's good. He's going to be able to get this expansion up. But you see also, Minigun, oh, nice block there as well. He realizes that EGIdrA, having lost access to his natural expansion for the next short while, may decide to expand down here. EGIdrA, sure enough, is trying to do that, and you saw that Minigun denied it, I think, twice total. So very nicely played by Minigun. EGIdrA sending those Zerglings out, going to be trying to chase those Zerglings. Pylon finally gone down, as we're actually going to see EGIdrA go for a double expo. Now let's actually just talk about that for a minute in relation to Minigun. And actually, speaking of that, I think once this is completed here, this wall might be solid, although this might be a spot, I don't know. Anyways, getting back on topic. EGIdrA, he's gonna have those double expos coming, so it's gonna be a bit of a risky move in terms of economic play. But he knows that Minigun is going for this Forge Fast expand. So with that in mind, he knows that, okay, going to be spending a lot of time on economy, not going to be able to really project a lot of force here in the early game, as opposed to maybe if he was going for like a 3-gate expand or, you know, a 1-gate expand, something like that. So I think this will pay off for EGIdrA. We'll have to see exactly how long it goes. He may decide to use those hatcheries to put some pressure on, maybe some early roach pressure before the Protoss player is fully up and running. We're already at the 5:30 mark. Looking at the income, 25 to 25. You see Protoss actually working on that double gas right now, sitting at around 210, 220, and we're going to be expecting to see that warp gate. We've also got that Zealot currently boosting out. Would not be surprised if we saw some sentries coming down the line. I mean, like I said, he's been kind of building up this gas for some time, and just now has started to find ways to spend it down. Also, would not be surprised if we saw +1 weapons upgrade here coming for Minigun in just a moment or two. But for now, we'll take a look back at EGIdRA's base. We see a macro hatchery going down, and so I feel like going into the later stages of the game here, he's going to be in a great position to take advantage of all this extra income. You know, that macro hatchery is a direct result of having those 2 expansions basically not quite given to him, but with the Protoss going for this fast expand build, it's kind of saying, you know what, I'm not really going to pressure you too much in the early game. That's one thing that Minigun's got to watch out for. He doesn't want to let EGIdRA grow too big too quickly. He knows that EGIdrA is going to have superior production capabilities here for a short while, and we do have 2 additional gateways and a robotics facility going down as well. Warp gate technology about 60% complete, and EGIdrA just continuing to build up a few Zerglings here and there, but mostly droning up right now, which is, I mean, exactly what he should be doing. Now, we do have Minigun moving up here with a Stalker and a Zealot. This is pretty much just a poke around, scout. If he can do any harassment, then great. If not, that's fine too. You see that Zealot gets taken out rather quickly. Look at the Harvester Camp, 41 to 36 right now. So still fairly even in terms of minerals, gas, income for both players. You can see the army for both players. Also very low right now. And we see that, actually, one thing I want to point out, Minigun has been supply blocked here for a little while. He does finally have 2 pylons going down. That was one thing that I was paying attention to while I was talking about that, was the fact that he was sitting there at 44 supply for quite some time. So weapons 1 about 60% complete. That's good. We've got those 3 additional gateways going down, and we actually have, I don't know, this seems like it's not really an Artosis pylon right there, but it is powering. The only one powering those 3 gateways. This one is the only one powering these structures. And looking down here, okay, right now this one's powering all these. So actually some very sexy targets that are kind of deep inside the base here. But Minigun actually, okay, I was about to say, wait a minute, he's building a, okay. He thought that he was walled in completely, but then when he started attacking, those sentries decided to come out. He had to cancel that second cybernetics core. But as far as income goes now, you see EGIdrA has had plenty of time to build up. At the 9-minute mark, he's got 64 harvesters. Compare that to the army, though, you see he's still kind of low. Pretty much just got some Zerglings running around. That's about it. We do have an Overlord that came over to basically suiciding to scout and see what all is available in terms of tech. For Minigun, we see a very sentry-heavy build. One thing we don't have is hallucination. Although I want to say, the fact that he's brought in these sentries a little bit later in this build as compared to if you like a 1-gate or 3-gate sentry expand, you're going to have a lot of energy built up with that build, but with this, not quite so much, so you're probably just going to want to save that for force fields. I do like the fact that he's going ahead and continuing bringing in these Stalkers. They do work very well with this kind of aggressive gateway play where you force field yourself off, assuming there's a bunch of Lings, possibly some Roaches running around. And basically, the sentries and the Stalkers can then fire from that position. Now, Minigun also going for a Warp Prison. Now, this is something that will be receiving a buff in patch 1.4. So this could be his attempt at trying to incorporate them more into his style of play. I mean, he may already use them a good bit, but certainly using them more cannot hurt. So we're going to see those Zealots come in here. Roaches actually have a nice position between these 2 structures. Will really minimize the amount of damage those Zealots can do charging in straight on. And I think he realizes that, but more importantly, we have Minigun deciding to bust up the ramp down here, coming and taking out this 3rd base while force fielding the ramp. I believe he's actually using 1 too many force fields there. I think he can get away with just 2, but now he's got 2 left there. You see he's actually having to seal it off. So a little bit of a misclick there, but that's perfectly all right as Minigun continues to do his thing. Whoa! EGIdrA with the, although not really unexpected bad manner, but he is not very happy about those force fields, I think, at this point in the game. 130 to 106 in terms of supply. We can see EGIdrA actually maybe moving out to just do some map control, try to cut off any reinforcements, maybe attack here. I don't think that's going to work out too well, and I'm fairly sure that EGIdrA knows that's not going to go so hot either. But the Protoss player now coming in once again, a little bit of force field. Yes, he does cut off the Lings. Almost. A couple more did get in there, so he's going to have to back off and not try to take pot shots at these Roaches. I mean, the Zerg player does have vision of the high ground. You see he's got this creep tumor right here. He's got the extractor as well. So he's going to have to be very careful from that. A couple of Roaches do manage to sneak in. Don't think they're going to be able to do a lot. Maybe pick off this 1 sentry. No! Very close. 1 hit point, man. This guy is the luckiest unit of the game. What's not lucky is the Stalker, who's basically like the sacrificial guy. Just, okay, we're going to make it up to the ramp here, and you get to die and hold off while we play some force fields. So, overall, let's actually just take a look real quick. 17 workers killed so far, 98 units. So, Minigun is sitting in a fantastic position. We can just look at the resources lost and see his opponent has doubled what he has. EGIdrA is going to try to play a little bit of catch-up here, get this extra hatchery going down. We're also seeing him drop an infestation pit. He's going for the Overlord upgrade, and also scouting around to make sure that Minigun is currently contained to 2 bases. One thing I like that Minigun is doing down here, dropping this expansion at a place that's not quite as easily accessible with EGIdRA's current line of units. Roach, Zergling. Neither one of them are really able to get up here without being noticed, and by being noticed, I mean taking out those rocks. But as for EGIdrA right now, I mean, he's doing exactly what he should be doing. He needs to get his economy back up. You know, I really felt like a couple more minutes he would have been just in such a fantastic position. But that attack came right at the perfect time to catch EGIdrA before he really had that critical amount of units. You know, this infestation pit, some infestors, fungal growth really would have made short work of that force. But we're seeing that EGIdrA is going to go ahead and try to put some pressure here on this expansion. What can Minigun do? Really, well, basically just sit there and profit. He's got his full complement of sentries here. He's got a warp in position. He's got the high ground. He's going to be able to kind of shut it off with a couple cannons. There's really not a lot that EGIdrA can do to try to bust this up. So also Minigun does know where his opponent's army is. He's got a whole slew of upgrades. Also Immortals, very good unit to counter EGIdRA's roach heavy build right now. He's got to make sure he brings some escorts with those, some zealots to counter these Zerglings as well. +1 attack on the Zerglings, so that is a very good thing. Also notice the +1 armor upgrade as well coming from Minigun, bringing them to a total of 2 upgrades. So that pylon right there, I believe, was placed just pretty much to make sure Zerglings were not able to do any sort of run-by while another attack was taking place. Very smart move, good thinking ahead. EGIdRA, likewise, he's got Neural Parasite on the way. Oh, that can always make for some very interesting, fun, happy times. Going to be looking to see some more infestors coming down the line. As you see, they are trickling in. We have, what do we actually have so far? Let's see, we've got 6 of them total, so this is pretty much all we're going to have coming down the line. Now, compare that to what the Protoss player has. You see he's got a nice complement of pretty much a very well-rounded base of units. He's got the blink upgrade, is going to be able to come in, snipe off some of those infestors, blink out of the way, let some of those others tank some damage, pretty much provide a lot of utility there, while his expansion continues to unfold. Likewise, EGIdRA, his third expansion, I guess his new third over here, is looking very nice. Got a full complement of drones, and also the warp prism over here from Minigun, hoping to come up, maybe establish a forward warp in position, take out this expansion, possibly create a distraction. I'm going to be looking to see what he tries to pull off with this. One thing I want to point out is that he might actually be able to warp in barely on the low ground there. That would just be a very tiny amount of space where he would be able to do it. But now Minigun going ahead with his fourth base, looking at the income 70 to 78. So you see both players, one of them actually kind of tipping over 2k minerals, the other one very close to it. EGIdRA going ahead with a Spire there, and continuing on, getting the Hive. He may actually decide to get some Broodlords here as well. It'll be very interesting to see what comes of that. You know, those things would be very effective at countering what we're seeing so far from this Protoss player, which is, okay, he does have the Blink upgrade, so that'll work out very well. Got to be very, very careful with these High Templar, though. Oh, no, feedback number 1, number 2, as the High Templar get taken out. One of them manages to turn into an Archon, and I think he's actually preventing the force fields from going down right there. Very interesting little mechanic. But EGIdRA trying to mind control the Immortals, take off as many Stalkers as possible. Will he be successful? I do not think so. There's just so many units here. There's the Proxy Pylon, able to reinforce Minigun's units very quickly with this gateway-focused build. Couple Immortal support now. We can just take a look at the units lost. 96 to 55 in terms of resources lost there, and 10 infestors on the way. My god, it is just going to be a gross fungal party, while the Zerglings look to possibly move out once again. Still don't really have any harassment down here. We have a couple spine crawlers, that's about it. The Zerglings are trying to make their way up here, but again, great wall off by Minigun. EGIdRA just not quite able to penetrate any of these lines of defenses. He really wants to get out here, control these watchtowers, because really, I mean, if nothing else, even if the Protoss player does not have an observer up here, you know, the fact that he has control of this watchtower means he can blink up here very quickly, get out of range of these Zerglings, and basically just have a party while they run around down below, swarming, not able to do their thing. Oh, poor Eddie getting sent to his death. I mean, that's how it happens. He has to die at least once every video, and the expansion gets taken out once again. EGIdRA losing that. Oh, man, he really needed that economic boost, but we're seeing 170 to 190, so Zealots are going to be going down, and now Minigun looking to move out while the Zerglings are in position way over here. Not going to try to force field the Ram to keep those away. He is going to be willing to deal with those, which is kind of interesting because there's not a lot of Zealots up front. There's a couple of them, that's about it, but we're having mass Neural Parasite annihilating the Stalkers. We're seeing this just go down so very quickly. More reinforcements are on the way, warped in very close to this battle, and even with even with the infested Terrans, I think we're going to see Minigun come out on top. So EGIdrA, once again, suffering a loss here midfield. Take a look at the resources. You can see there's even a raffle right there, and the token smiley face. That's just like the counter to anything EGIdrA says, it seems like. But, I mean, you know, EGIdrA has done a great job so far this game. He's done very well with his economy, trying to keep up here. The Protoss player just managing to snipe off an early strategic victory there in the mid-game and capitalizing on that map control moving forward. And, whoa! Oh, man, I guess if there's going to be an exit for EGIdrA, that is going to be it, man. He does not take that loss very well at all, exiting with the expected style. Alright, so that is going to be it for this game. Minigun versus EGIdrA. We saw EGIdrA really, I mean, he did all the proper moves, I feel like, just getting caught off guard by those force fields. Really didn't get those infestors out in time for that initial assault. I mean, really, with going with the strategy that he did, I'm not really saying that it was, you know, late or anything, but just things didn't work out for him the way that he hoped to with that strategy, so Minigun took advantage of it. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. As always, if you can like the video, if you do like it, hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to, subscribe as well. It helps me out a lot. And leave a comment down below. Let me know kind of your thoughts on the match. Maybe your thoughts on the casting, etc. I'm always looking to improve. Just try to leave constructive comments either way, good, bad, and I'll see you next video.